Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
Hi, welcome to Be My Guest. Today we have our town manager here in Upton, Massachusetts, Joseph Laydon. Welcome back, Joe.
Thank you very much.
He was on us before. He has been, and the time has gone like this, he has been our town manager for 5 months now. And we were just talking, it's like, where'd the time go? It seems like it's just on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely, but you know, there's so many things going on in town. Tell us what you think is going to happen with the community center besides is there anything besides the senior center, the library there, and the children's playroom? Is there anything else going to go on over there?
So within the community center, not only, as you said, we're going to have the library and then Council on Aging space, which really is going to provide a great opportunity for joint programs between library and the senior center, as well as a new way to bring people into both those departments in a way that not able to meet those needs right now. And I think there's going to be a lot of interest and real opportunity for new programs within that new space. Of course, we're also redoing the playground that was always over in that location. Not only some of the equipment was purchased rather recently, so we're reinstalling that, but we're also doing new elements, new climbing elements that I think are going to be of real interest to people with kids to come and sort of to not only get out there and play on the playground, but also then come into the library.
Yeah, and you're bringing the generations together.
Yep.
That's why it's called the community center.
Right.
You know, I've been following it, and it looks like it's going up now fast. Do you think by Christmas it'll be done?
That's one of the things that right now we still are establishing that middle of December it will be done. However, there have been delays because of materials and some components. You're dealing with 6-month lead time, and things can always happen at the last minute. So while right now that's anticipated, that likely will sort of slip into the new year. Exactly when, we don't know. We're still trying to, especially as you're getting equipment and ordering equipment, there's always that potential to delay. So as we move further along, and you can see the exterior, they're putting up the stone veneer on the front. They're going to start doing some of the shingles next week. And they're really wrapping up the building itself from the exterior. A lot of the work now is, of course, on the inside, doing electrical networking, doing some of the HVAC, and soon they'll be putting up the blue board inside, which really allows them to go a lot faster. But it's those finishing things, furniture, shelving, some of these things that right now in the sort of new reality that we're faced with, you never know when one key component you can't get, and that may have an impact on other things. No change has been made, but it is something that it could cause a slippage as far as when it's going to open. The fortunate thing is we have existing space. We have the library downstairs, we have the senior center at Millhouse. So we're still maintaining our programs. We're still providing the services, so we're much better. It's not like we're renting or leasing space or living out of trailers that some towns have had to do when they've had these types of projects. It's something that unfortunately it will be what it will be.
When it will
we
be.
hope it will, exactly when it will be, and really hope that we can stay closer to that established schedule that we had basically gone to town meeting with.
It's been great to watch it through the months go up the different stages, and then all of a sudden it felt to me like it hit a fast pace. Like right now, you drive by, it's like, oh my God, last week, look what happened.
Yeah.
Now, the trailer there, the other night my husband and I were driving by, and it was night, but there was a light on in where they're working and then in the trailer, so he said, they're not leaving it open for everybody. There's got to be somebody working there, right? Because you don't want someone just walking in at night.
I mean, that's where we have so many people that are working, and contracted employees or owner's project manager, that company, they may end up doing some work, outside of normal business hours because they're managing other projects as well.
Yeah.
So you should notice that people are there working on the weekends. The contractors are doing a great job trying to really move things along. I think everyone's excited, and the good thing is that the time is going to fly by.
Yeah.
And then we're having an opening ceremony.
Now the opening, will that be like a great big thing, like a celebration?
I'm sure it will be a celebration, but we'll be working on those details on exactly what that looks like.
There's so many things coming up, so we've got that. What do you think will happen to the senior center built near Millhouse? What do you think? You have any plans for that?
Right now, no. There's always some possibilities. We're focused on trying to make sure that project comes along, and also really work with the library as well as the senior center to start to undertake sort of the planning efforts to allow for the move. There's a lot of things that still need to happen logistically, but also in thinking about what are we going to start doing. Like we just don't want to do the same old stuff when we move over there. We want to develop new programs. This is a great new space. We're going to have more people that want to go. So there's a lot of pre-planning that we're going to be doing this fall. A lot of that will automatically get wrapped into the fiscal year 2024 budget because ultimately July 1st next year we're in a new fiscal year, and all these planning activities that we undertake in the fall really get reflected when we prepare and seek town meetings approval for that budget.
We're talking with Joseph Laydon, and he is our town manager here in the town of Upton, Massachusetts. Joseph, how can they reach you if they have questions?
Sure. I can be reached in the town manager's office. Town hall is at 1 Main Street here in Upton. Also by email at jlaydon@uptonma.gov, or by phone 508-529-6901. Website has all the information.
It's great.
For getting
it's
in
great.
touch.
You can even go uptonma.gov. If you scroll way up to the right, hit that little YouTube box. It'll bring you right to the site. You can watch Joseph's YouTube interview. The great thing about YouTube is once you're on it, you're all over the world. The coverage that you get is fantastic. It really, really is. Now, there's a $100,000 question. Do you have any idea what's going to happen to the Ristine building where we are sitting right now? What do you think?
So that's one of those things that, as we go forward in the fall, really want to be able to identify how we can engage the community to identify what are some of the potential uses. What is there a municipal use that we can use here? Is there a nonprofit? Is there some way to redevelop the property? Those things have not happened, and I have had people inquire what's going on with the Ristine, and that's where it's really great to get people's thoughts on that. Engaging the town. This being the heart of the community, and now with the new community center, there's going to be a lot of interest in what happens to this building. There's other demands, not only for cable space, but with the Historic Society's museum, as other departments start to ramp up additional projects and programs, can this be used by other departments? So those are things that I think people should look over the next couple of months to start to see how we start to engage the town in that.
Yeah, I know the Historical Commission. We share the same second floor, and it's beautiful. I mean, that's a museum. They definitely need a definite space for that. And then we, as the cable, as the television here in Upton, we need at least a room this size, because we have guests come in from all over New England, even from New York City. We have one who comes up this way. So they're looking forward to it. It's cozy. It's not a huge, the station itself is across, the street, all the hardware. But this is where they come to relax and enjoy it. Many people come in, they're very nervous. But once they see how relaxing it is, they love it. And anybody's welcome. We've had, oh my God, everything from yourself, the town manager, to the Southwick Zoo, to doctors from UMass. Everybody's always welcome. I'm wondering. Oh, we asked Joe about it in our library downstairs. It's like the door to nowhere. They're supposed to put a ramp up, but it's coming, right?
Yes, it is. So back in the fall of 2021, town meeting had appropriated money for that temporary ramp. Again, like pretty much everything, including when we're trying to replace our own refrigerators. The amount of time, nothing's in stock, you have to order. The ramp is being manufactured. Anticipate the end of the month, beginning of November, for when it will be installed. That will allow for the library to once again have programs within their space. Right now, a lot of the programs, when the weather isn't that conducive to outside, they're coming into town hall using the main hall for programs.
Right, it's important because they finally get that ramp up, and then they intend to do something like tear down this building. It's like, why did we get the ramp? Hopefully it will be something that will be. It's a historic spot. I think this used to be a church. The 1800s?
Yep. Yes.
Way back then. So it's got a lot of glamour, but there's work that needs to be done. There's no doubt about it. But we're talking about the new community center, and plumbing is another thing. I mean, how many bathrooms are they going to have? I don't know, but you got to get that done, right? That could fall through also. But hopefully it gets done the right way.
Yes.
Of your visions when you were first here, so far have you seen any of them really gelling, or if they've already gelled?
Well, I think when I first came on board, one of the first things I was basically told was that we had a number of key staffing positions that were open and needed to be filled. So far, since I've been here for almost 5 months, we've basically had 7 positions filled with people that have either retired, moved on to other towns, or shifted within town offices to different positions. And staffing is really one of those areas that I've been focused on, because it's a unique opportunity to make sure that the team that you're sort of bringing in, not only is going to provide the town of Upton with a great service, but also fits in with the rest of town hall. And we've brought some great people on board: new treasurer collector, new principal assessor, assistant town clerk. The former assistant town clerk moved over to become the full-time town clerk. We've hired police positions, DPW positions, so there's a lot of things that have been going on within town hall just since I got here, just on the staffing side. And it's been a lot on existing employees as we've had these vacancies, not only to do their workload, but then also to try to keep pace with what the other person may have done, so that we can make sure that we continue to service the community.
Keep it going in the right way. We have a town meeting coming up.
Yes, we do.
November
1st.
November 1st, over at the high school.
Yes.
At 7 o'clock, usually it starts about that.
Yes.
We have a wonderful, what do you call him? Mr. Moderator. Hello out there to Dave Lepper, because he is terrific. Were you there the last time we had it?
Yes, I wasn't officially on board, but I did attend.
You were there. He did a great job. He's a natural. I think we were all getting ready to vote with our little colored paper, and people were eager, and he went, "Not yet." Do you remember that?
Yes.
It was like a real pro handling, and I thought that was terrific. I hear rumors, probably just rumors, that they're going to do something with the building at the rec over at our beach. Is that true? They're going to tear that down?
There's nothing on the special town meeting warrant for that. The primary articles and the Board of Selectmen is finalizing the warrant at a meeting coming up on October 11th. Primarily are some small ticket funding articles, such as for police cruiser, fire department, ambulance stretcher, as well as some administrative articles abandoning, formally discontinuing Warren Street, that's adjacent to Town Hall, that was closed off a couple of years ago. Some other zoning bylaws. One of the main things that's going to be on the warrant is actually seeking construction funding for the Grove Street Bridge, right out this window.
Yeah, right out the window.
Which is is a significant concern for the state for the condition. They're continually monitoring the condition because it's a very old bridge, but it's heavily used, and you have heavy traffic going through there. And if anything is to happen to that bridge from structural standpoint, the state could shut it down.
Yeah.
So it is very important for us to consider, replacing it, and that's probably the most significant article that's going to be on the special town meeting warrant.
Joseph, with the town meeting coming up, what are the most significant things we'll be discussing, do you think?
That's going to be the Grove Street. I think is going to, a police cruiser, additional funding for a senior center van.
Yeah.
Those are all sort of smaller things. I mean, they're definitely important for those departments and the town. Mm-hmm. Public safety, transportation for seniors. The Grove Street is going to be is the most significant article that's going to be on the warrant, mainly because of the fact that the sense of urgency that the state is placing on Grove Street Bridge, and their discussion that they could shut it down. And the concern is not only on that being shut down, but for our emergency responders. If there's something that happens in South Grafton, that's the way that they go from the fire station and police station. So you shut that down. You force emergency vehicles onto side streets that are maybe less ideal, narrower, have more homes that could be impacted, or you're also increasing the response time. So if someone's in need of an ambulance, you could delay things. Sometimes even a minute seems like an eternity. So there's a lot of reasons, and we'll be going through and sort of identifying in advance of town meeting sort of the importance of all those articles, but also that one specifically.
Do you think that they're ever going to get, over at the town hall, they blocked it off, they were going to make a parking lot, a bigger parking area?
Yes.
Is that ever going to get done?
That's that's one of the reasons why we have an article to discontinue Warren Street, so that once we discontinue Warren Street, that parcel that is essentially the road just becomes just land available to then reconfigure that parking lot.
Yeah, it'd be great. It really, really would. Because you can look down there, and if you're not careful, you can make a mistake and start to take that shortcut, and you realize, maybe if you're not around here, you think, oh, this thing's been closed, I got to go further down to take that right onto...
I see that happen quite a bit.
Yeah, Church Street, and people get down there, they see the cones, the orange cones, and they go, oh, I really goofed, you got to go back and around again. So we've got that the town meeting coming up November 1st. Is that a Tuesday, Joe?
Yes, it is.
Okay, 7 o'clock over at the Nipmuc High School. Joe, how can they reach you if they have questions?
So the easiest way to reach me is by email, jlaydon@uptonma.gov. Also can be reached by phone at 508-529-6901.
That, the senior van, I've talked with so many people, and it looks like it's on its last legs.
It is.
When you compare it to the other local towns around, I'm like, couldn't believe it. I talked with the driver, he's a good sport. Is it safe, at least until we can get us a new one?
Yes, it is. It is an older vehicle. These vehicles, are used constantly.
Yeah.
So that's why we had sought town meeting approval back in May to replace it. However, what was once a $60,000, $70,000 vehicle is now $100,000. Or more. And so that's where at town meeting we are asking for an additional cushion because we're finding that costs are just escalating.
Does it have to be a brand new vehicle or a one in very good shape a couple of years old?
The problem is that because you can't really get new ones, other people that maybe would turn in and replace their vans more frequently are also holding on to them. So it's exactly like the used car situation we're in, where people, because they can't buy that new car, are holding on to their used car more. Those used cars are also, getting a higher value. So, we're focused on replacing the van with something that then is going to last a long time. It's one of those challenges that, we're faced just like everyone else.
Our librarian, Matt, he said he took a tour of the new community center being built right here in Upton, and it was, I guess, very impressive. What is it like, Joseph? Could you tell us when you walk in? Is it like a lobby and then you've got something here and there? What's it going to be like?
I think one of the things is people are going to find that it's an incredibly a warm and welcoming place. Coming in, and you'll be presented with the main circulation desk on your left, with people to interact, and then you're getting into this space that just opens up with wood beams that are arching to the ceiling, and with windows that allow light to come in.
Yeah,
it's going to be
you can see.
a nice, warm, just really welcoming space.
Yeah.
Teen rooms, program rooms, and then for the senior center as well. Not only some lounge area for people to socialize, play cards, but exercise room, and then really wonderful large space for dinners and meals, as well as large like presentations and workshops, and great community space. It's going to be a great opportunity for our existing staff to really be reinvigorated by this new facility and come up with new programs. Because in my experience, when towns have built new library or senior center, you're getting double, triple the foot traffic going in.
Definitely.
And the idea is really that it is a multi-generational facility where you're having, kids and babies coming in for story time, and then you're having activities for seniors, and that opportunity to do both is really, I think, what's so special about that project.
Upton is the library here in Upton. They've had a great program where they've actually, is it once a week or once a month that they bring books down to the senior center, and now they would have to, because the seniors can hopefully get over there. Will the van that they get, will that provide transportation for seniors living in the other end of Upton to get there?
Yes, that's one of the reasons why we're also really focused on trying to move on replacing that van, because one of the benefits in the current location is that being part of Millhouse, there already are residents there that can basically walk down and participate in programs. So while we have a great new facility, that will increase the demand for bus transportation. Many of the people there do have their own cars and do drive, but we have a lot that also will rely on that transportation. So we're really focused on trying to replace that van so that we can really make sure that people can get down and attend programs and meals and really take advantage of that senior center.
I know that when I look at that new building, the community center, they have the windows up high. Now, is it going to be in one story, or is it going to be like two stories?
It's a one-story building.
Okay.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of light, like you said.
Some of those windows are going to fool you because they're actually exhaust for the HVAC system.
They're exhaust?
So some are real.
Yeah.
Some are not. They may look like windows.
Yeah.
But they're part of the exhaust system, air exchange, for the heating and cooling system. So, designed to look like it's all windows, but it will be up to people when they visit to try to guess which ones are which.
I think that is so fantastic. That van for the seniors, you look at it, and I think they take them to doctor's appointments out in Worcester, too.
Yes.
I think they do that, probably UMass and places like that. It's important.
Yes, it is.
Because what do you consider senior these days? People hit 50 and they start getting AARP stuff in the mail. I don't know about you, but my peers are throw it in the trash. But it's different than our parents and grandparents' AARP now. I remember sitting there in my living room at home with my parents, and they were up there. I said, I saw an AARP magazine, and what's so boring, but they've caught up with our generations. The boomers, the Xers. Now they have like Paul McCartney on the thing. They're smart, and they get people that we knew. I think it's fantastic, and I think we're keeping, by getting this new community center going, we're keeping with this realization that it ain't your grandmother's community center anymore.
Right.
For everybody. They do exercises. I've been there for brought a friend. Anybody could go. An arts thing with chalk, that type of thing. I think it's great. And I think Matt downstairs does a what is it like? It's not a bingo game, but it's the type of thing where it stumps your mind to think of the answer. I can't think of it, but it sounds terrific. That is going to be right over there at that new center.
Yeah.
Does the VFW interact at all with the center, do you think? It's a nice area. They're right across from each other.
I think one of the nice things is sort of like a mutually beneficial arrangement, because the town land that the community center is on didn't have enough for parking, and entering into a parking agreement with VFW not only results in town having parking, but also many of the things the VFW holds is off hours from town buildings, so that they're able then to utilize parking, and we're able to improve some of their access in and out of the site, when you're considering that you're right at that curve of 140, which can be a little difficult. So
yeah, the Elfels have in the good weather. They have the Tuesday nights. The guys all get together on the VFW lawn with all those old cars. Like, what do they call them? Muscle cars. How are they going to accommodate people going to that? If they've got people over at the community center, I wonder if they'll find a different location for the guys with the cars. It's very popular.
I think one of the things is that VFW and the town, we have a good line of communication. We're aware as far as the different demands, and some of these things, we'll just work out.
Yeah.
That very often town, like senior centers, usually may be closed or don't offer programs, say on a Tuesday night. So I think there'll be an opportunity for us to work together to benefit both needs that the town as well as the VFW.
Yeah, I know over the years that thing has taken off. You come down Route 140 and you see that at the VFW place there. And they also have yard sales on there, or flea markets.
Yeah.
So that's a busy place too.
Yep.
So we're going to have it's like a hub.
Yep.
Like a hub of activity. Joseph Laydon has been with us. He's the town manager here in Upton, Mass. And welcome aboard again. It's good to have you. And we'll have you back. We will. We'll see you at the town meeting too, coming up November 1st, on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. over at our high school right up the street. So that'll be great. We'll talk about the things that we've been talking about now that we're going to talk about, especially about our bridge right here on Grove Street. That's evidently quite a big issue. It never would have dawned on a lot of us, but it is, and it's important. So we'll be talking about that, voting on it too, right?
Yes.
Thanks for being with us.
Okay, my pleasure.
We'll see you next time and be my guest.
Riding on a shooting star, heading out toward a dream. Tomorrow's even closer than it seems.